You remember them, don't you? Those old hunting lodges. The ones where you had to duck through doorways and the floorboards sang out every time you took a step at 4 a.m., waking everyone else up. The kind of place where you'd huddle around a single space heater, watching your breath form clouds in the air, telling yourself this was part of the charm, part of the tradition. The lighting was always dim, maybe one overhead bulb that cast more shadows than light. You'd squint to clean your rifle, and sleep in quarters so cramped that 3 grown men felt like a crowd. But it was ours. It was sacred. It was where we went to remember who we were before the world got complicated. But then, something shifted. A new generation started showing up to these lodges. People who spent their Monday through Friday in open-concept offices with floor-to-ceiling windows. People who understood that beauty and function weren't enemies. They loved the wild just as much as their fathers and grandfathers did, maybe more, but they started asking a question that felt almost rebellious. Why can't we have both? Why does honoring tradition mean suffering through it? And that's when the Barndominium entered the conversation, not as a replacement for what came before, but as an evolution, a way to keep the soul of the hunting lodge alive while letting it breathe in the modern world. Steel beams meeting with smoke, concrete floors that can handle anything, under ceilings high enough to make you feel small again, the way the forest does. This wasn't about abandoning the old ways. This was about making sure they survived. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it's a simple way to show your love for these incredible designs. Picture this. You wake up before dawn, and the first thing you see are those massive ceilings stretching 20 feet above you. Not because anyone needs 20-foot ceilings, but because when you're about to walk into the wilderness, you need to feel small first. You need to remember your place in all of this. That ceiling does what the forest does. It humbles you before you've even laced up your boots. Then you hear it. That deep, mechanical slide of the industrial door opening. Not a creak, not a struggle, just this smooth, deliberate sound. And suddenly, the world outside pours in. The mist hangs low over the tree line. The cold air hits your face. You're standing in your socks on polished concrete, looking at something ancient and untouched, framed by steel and glass like it's a painting. But it's real. It's right there. By the time you walk to the kitchen, someone's already started coffee. Another guy's at the island, rifle broken down in front of him, running a cloth through the barrel. He's not in the garage or some dark corner. He's right there, in the heart of the space. And next to him, someone's browning venison from last season, the smell mixing with gun oil and with smoke from the fireplace you can see clear across the room. This is what makes it different. It's not separated. It's not compartmentalized. The cleaning, the cooking, the planning, the storytelling, it all happens in the same breath. The same space. You're not shuffling between rooms. You're living the entire experience as one continuous flow. And somehow, in all that openness, you feel more connected. To the land outside. To the people beside you. To the reason you came here in the first place. We share new content regularly to help you create spaces you love, so don't forget to subscribe. There are spaces in a hunting lodge barndominium that you don't just walk through. You feel them. Each one tells a different part of the story. Take the trophy room. Except it's not really a room, and it doesn't feel like a museum where dead things go to be remembered. It's woven into the living space. That 8-point buck isn't mounted on some dark paneled wall in a forgotten hallway. It's there, in the light, part of the conversation. Modern. Intentional. A reminder of a specific morning, a specific shot, a specific feeling, without all the heaviness that used to come with it. Then there's the kitchen. But calling it a kitchen feels wrong, because it's really the command center. This is where the next morning's hunt gets planned over whiskey, where maps get spread across the island, and someone points to a ridge they've been thinking about all year. It's not separate from the life of the lodge. It is the lodge. Strategy and sustenance in the same breath. And the gun room. God, finally, a gun room that doesn't feel like punishment. No more basement corners with a single bulb and a rusty safe. This is security and beauty holding hands. Custom cabinetry, proper lighting. Your rifles displayed like they matter, because they do. It's functional, but it's also something you want to show people. Then you sleep, but not alone in some isolated bedroom. The sleeping quarters understand something the old cabins never did. That brotherhood needs both privacy and proximity. Bunkhouse style, but elevated. You have your own space, your own corner of quiet, but you can still hear someone snoring across the way. Still feel the presence of your people. Because solitude is why you came to the woods. But companionship is why you came together. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means to me, and it helps keep the design ideas coming your way. Let's talk about the practical side of all this. But here's the thing. Practicality, when done right, is its own kind of poetry. Metal buildings weren't designed for beauty. They were designed to endure. And if you've ever hunted, you know that endurance is everything. Those mud-caked boots that would destroy hardwood floors, they meet their match with polished concrete and steel. You're not tiptoeing around, worried about what you're tracking in. You walk in like you own the place, because the place was built to handle exactly this. The mess, the chaos, the beautiful brutality of the hunt. And those wet dogs shaking off freezing water in the mudroom? The building doesn't flinch. It was made for this. The walls don't warp. The floors don't buckle. It just absorbs it all and asks for more. Then there's the cold. You've been out there since before sunrise, your bones aching from the freeze, and you step inside to air that's already warm, already waiting. Metal buildings regulate temperature in a way those old wooden cabins never could. The insulation wraps around you like a promise. You're home now. You're safe. And the gear. God, the gear. Field dressing equipment. Bloodstain tarps. Coolers and processing tools and everything that comes with bringing an animal from forest to freezer. In the old lodges, you'd shove it all in some corner and hope for the best. But here, there's a place for it. A system. Steel shelving. Drainage built into the floors. Everything designed to handle the reality of what you're actually doing out here. This isn't delicate. This isn't precious. This is a building that understands what you need it to be, a partner in the work. Strong enough to hold your tradition. Tough enough to survive your love for it. If you love this type of look, hit that subscribe button to help us create more videos. And let us know in the comments what you'd love to see in future videos. But here's what separates the ones who get it from the ones who don't, the hidden choices. The things you don't notice until you live in the space and realize everything just works. Start with the mudroom. It's not just a room near the door. It's strategically placed to create this flow from dirty to clean. You enter through chaos, boots, gear, blood, earth, and by the time you reach the main living space, you've shed all of it. Not because someone told you to, but because the design led you there naturally. It's invisible architecture, the kind that makes life easier without you ever knowing why. Then there are the windows. They're not randomly placed. Every single one is oriented to catch that golden hour light, the light hunters live for. That magic hour when the world turns amber and everything feels possible. It pours through the glass in the early morning and late evening, painting everything it touches. It's intentional. It's calculated. It's poetry disguised as engineering. And that walk-in cooler? You'd never know it was there. Disguised as a pantry, seamlessly built into the kitchen design. But when you bring in a harvest, you open that door and there it is. Professional-grade cold storage where flour and canned goods should be. Function hiding in plain sight. The outdoor spaces matter too. Covered porches that extend the season. Fire pits positioned to block the wind. Spaces that let you live outside even when the weather says you shouldn't. But maybe the most unexpected thing is this. Rough-hewn wood and cold metal shouldn't work together. They're opposites. One's warm, organic, ancient. The other's industrial, modern, unforgiving. But when you put them in the same room, something happens. The wood softens the metal. The metal gives the wood structure. And together, they create a warmth neither could achieve alone. That's the secret. Opposites don't fight here. They complete each other. Let's talk about what this actually costs. Because pretending money doesn't matter is just another way of lying to yourself. Your grandfather built his cabin for $3,000 in 1960. He was proud of it. He should have been. But walk into that cabin today, if it's even still standing, and you'll see what 65 years does to a dream built on a shoestring. Rotting floors, leaking roof, walls that let the cold seep through like they're not even trying.